Have you ever tried to help someone, only to have it blow up in your face? It's a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes, no matter how good our intentions are, not everyone will appreciate them. Not everyone deserves our kindness. Here are 8 types of people you should not waste your time and energy on. Deniers. Deniers consistently refuse to acknowledge their issues or the need for any change. This refusal can be due to various reasons like fear, pride, or lack of awareness. We encounter deniers in different aspects of our lives. For example, a colleague might consistently underperform yet insist that their work quality is top-notch, or a friend might deny their unhealthy lifestyle habits even when facing serious health consequences. They might sidestep discussions about their issues, offer justifications, or respond defensively if their problems are highlighted. They often resort to making excuses for their actions or the situations they are in, shielding themselves from confronting uncomfortable truths. This behavior not only hampers their growth, but can also affect their relationships and professional life. You can't help someone who is delusional and doesn't want to acknowledge their issues. Sometimes it's best to let them be. Quitters. They know they have a problem and acknowledge the need for change, but never seem to follow through. This is the friend who constantly talks about wanting to improve their health, sets plans to exercise or eat right, but never actually starts. Or a colleague who agrees to take on responsibilities or improve their work habits, but continues with their usual patterns. The defining trait of these quitters is their inconsistency between what they say and what they do. They might appear enthusiastic or agreeable when discussing plans for change, but this motivation fades when it comes to taking concrete steps. This disparity often stems from fear of failure, lack of genuine motivation, or simply not prioritizing the change they initially agreed upon. These people often make promises or set grand goals, but then come up with excuses for why they can't follow through. They might frequently postpone action, blaming it on timing issues, other commitments, or just not feeling ready. This cycle of commitment and withdrawal can be frustrating for those who are trying to support or rely on them. While it's possible to encourage and motivate them, ultimately, the decision and effort to change must come from them. Blamers. These are the ones who only see themselves as perpetual victims of circumstances, other people, or the world at large. They believe that most of their problems are caused by external factors and that they have little or no control over their lives. We all know that one person who always have a story about how someone wronged them, or co-workers who believe the management is always out to get them. A key characteristic of those with a victim mentality is their external locus of control. They rarely see their role in their own misfortunes and instead attribute their problems to external causes, other people, the weather, even God. They might use phrases like, "It's not my fault that," or "If only X had done Y, then." Or worse, they may seek sympathy or validation for their perceived suffering, but might reject solutions or suggestions for improvement, preferring to wallow in their narrative of victimhood. For those around them, it can be challenging to maintain a supportive relationship, as efforts to help are often met with resistance or dismissal. It's important to set boundaries to prevent their negative outlook from impacting your well-being. While empathy is valuable, enabling their victimhood narrative can be counterproductive. Know-it-alls. These self-righteous individuals believe they have all the answers and are often unwilling to consider other perspectives or new information. In various aspects of life, you might encounter such individuals who, regardless of their actual level of expertise or knowledge, insist on their viewpoints being superior. For example, in a work setting, a know-it-all colleague might dominate meetings, dismissing others' ideas or input, Or in a social context, you might have a friend who always corrects others and asserts their opinions as facts, even in casual conversations. The hallmark of a know-it-all is their overconfidence in their knowledge and their resistance to acknowledging when they don't know something. This can stem from a need for validation or a fear of appearing vulnerable or incompetent. Their behavior can manifest as constantly offering unsolicited advice, being quick to correct others, or turning discussions into opportunities to showcase their knowledge. Know-it-alls often monopolize conversations and may become argumentative or condescending when challenged. They might intentionally use complicated words or detailed explanations to assert their dominance in a subject, even when such depth is unnecessary. This is extremely off-putting and can hinder productive dialogue and collaboration, as it can discourage others from sharing ideas or contributing to discussions. In personal relationships, it can lead to conflicts or a lack of depth in connections, as others may feel undervalued or dismissed. The manipulators. These two-faced individuals use emotional, psychological, or strategic tactics to influence others for their own benefit. You might encounter such a person in the workplace who subtly undermines colleagues to gain favor, or in personal relationships where they might guilt-trip or gaslight others to maintain control or get what they want. These individuals are adept at reading people and situations, using this insight to exert influence or sway decisions in their favor. They often disguise their manipulation under the guise of help or concern, making it challenging to pinpoint their true intentions. Manipulative people might flatter, coerce, or threaten, depending on what they believe will be most effective in a given context. They're skilled at playing the victim or the hero, whatever suits their needs at the moment. Their behavior can be particularly harmful as it erodes trust, creates confusion, and can lead to the emotional or psychological distress of those around them. Perpetual pessimists. Perpetual pessimists are individuals who consistently see the negative side of every situation and anticipate the worst outcomes. In your daily life, you might encounter such individuals who, even in positive or neutral circumstances, find a reason to express doom or gloom. For example, a colleague who always forecasts project failures despite a track record of success, or a friend who dampens any excitement about future plans with their bleak outlook. They often focus on potential dangers, setbacks, or the negative aspects of any situation, overlooking positive opportunities or outcomes. This mindset can stem from past experiences, a natural inclination toward caution, or a deeply ingrained habit of negative thinking. These individuals frequently voice their concerns, doubts, or cynical views, which can be draining or disheartening for those around them. Their outlook can create a self-fulfilling prophecy, where expecting the worst can sometimes lead to negative outcomes, reinforcing their pessimistic beliefs. Pessimists can influence the mood and morale of a group, casting a shadow over collective enthusiasm or optimism. Their perspective can be particularly challenging in settings that require hope, creativity, or problem-solving, as their negativity can stifle motivation and innovation. The disloyal. Those who betray trust or demonstrate a lack of commitment to relationships or obligations. In various aspects of life, you might encounter disloyal people, such as a co-worker who shares confidential information with others, or a friend who consistently breaks promises or speaks negatively about you behind your back. Disloyal people fail to uphold integrity in their relationships or responsibilities. They may prioritize their self-interest over the well-being or trust of others, leading to actions that betray confidence or commitment. This behavior can stem from a variety of motives, including self-preservation, a desire for personal gain, or a lack of ethical principles. They might appear supportive or trustworthy at first, making it challenging to discern their true nature until their disloyal actions become apparent. They may engage in gossip, shift allegiances based on convenience, or fail to stand by others during challenging times. The presence of disloyal people in personal or professional settings can erode trust and create an atmosphere of suspicion or tension. Their actions can lead to emotional hurt, damaged relationships, or professional setbacks for those affected by their disloyalty. Last but not least, the needy. Needy individuals are those who constantly seek attention, support, or reassurance from others, often to an excessive degree. This could be a friend who requires constant validation for their feelings or decisions, or a colleague who always needs help or affirmation to complete their tasks. These people have a persistent demand for external validation, support, or companionship, which can stem from underlying issues like low self-esteem, insecurity, or past experiences of neglect or abandonment. Their behavior might manifest as frequent calls or messages, an inability to make decisions without input from others, or a tendency to cling to relationships or situations for fear of being alone or unsupported. The presence of needy individuals can be challenging, as their demands for attention or support can be draining and may lead to imbalanced relationships where one person's needs dominate the dynamic. Their behavior can also hinder their own growth and self-sufficiency, as they rely heavily on others instead of developing their own coping mechanisms or decision-making skills. We want the best for those we care about, but it shouldn't come at the expense of our own well-being. The truth is, not everyone wants to be helped, not everyone deserves to be. To avoid being negatively affected by these types of people, it's crucial to establish and maintain strong personal boundaries. Recognize the traits and behaviors of these individuals and understand that while you can offer support, their change must come from within. Communication is key. Express your feelings and boundaries clearly and assertively without being confrontational. Foster an environment of mutual respect and understanding, but also be prepared to distance yourself if your well-being is compromised. And remember, it's important to prioritize your mental and emotional health, and sometimes this means limiting your exposure to or engagement with individuals who consistently impact you negatively. In the end, we have to learn when to step back and protect ourselves. Give this video a like if you liked it, and comment below if you've dealt with people like this in your life. Until next time, stay wise.